Police officers and first responders wear badges to let their communities know they are here to protect and serve. But it comes at a price. Samantha Horwitz and John Salerno work with police departments across the country to bring valuable recovery, insight resources, and workshops. A Badge of Honor TV brings those professionals to you so we can come together and revitalize communities through a better understanding of what's at stake and what's required for repair. So take a load off and turn up your TV. It's about to get real.
Hey, welcome to A Badge of Honor TV with John and Sam. We are powered by the OBBM Network, and you can catch us on all your favorite streaming platforms. Man, it's been a crazy week. Welcome, Sam. I know you've been going nuts in your new digs. I noticed the new background. You moved out, so you made the big move. So how's it going?
It is very, it's rewarding in the end. You know, when we first got started with A Badge of Honor, one of the things that we talked about was finding, how do you reconnect and find peace and contentment and kind of a place to relax. And well, my husband, we had to build it, and we're going to be building something else on the property. But we made the big move. Heroes on the Water was instrumental. The kayaks are over there. Nice. By the pond. And it's something that we talk about when we do our workshops, is creating your space, and how doing stuff for you is not selfish. It's actually needed, because you can't give from an empty cup. We're just rolling with it. That's all we can do. If I turn the camera around, you'd be like, oh, snap. This place is a mess.
You said a key word, and it's, sometimes we got to take care of ourselves. And so many of our first responders and our veterans out there, they've been giving back so much for so long. They don't know how to take, they're cut from a servant's heart. So they don't know how to take care of themselves. And that's why I'm glad A Badge of Honor kind of reminds them every week to say, hey, listen, let's take a moment for ourselves every once in a while and reflect on what, us, because they've given back so much to so many. We've lost so many, and we've dealt with so many tragedies. And you got to know, as a first responder or a veteran, you deserve to really have some peace in your heart. So I'm glad, Sam, I'm glad you guys got out there, and you're going to enjoy it. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
Thanks. It is a wonderful thing. You did a fun, wonderful thing over the weekend as well, giving back.
Yeah, this is my second year in a row. I was blessed to be invited back to the Thin Blue Line Foundation 16th annual fajita cook-off, where they had fajitas, ribs, and chili, beans, and it was a plethora of different smells and smokes. There had to be about 40 different chapters out there from all over the state of Texas, just smoking and grilling and having a good time and bonding with each other, which was really the key part of it, that everybody just got together and they got to talk and laugh and joke. And they raised a lot of money. They raised probably over $20,000 just in that short period of time on Saturday for all our fallen officers and our injured officers throughout the state of Texas. That money goes and helps any injured officer who is, when someone gets injured, they lose their second job or they lose their overtime. Right. So, the bills keep piling up and everything else. And it's for these organizations such as the Thin Blue Line, they get out there and they say, hey, we're going to cut you a check. Hey, we're going to cut you a check. And if you go onto their website, they're cutting a check. And I think you probably heard about it. It was on Channel 4 News not too long ago. An officer, I forgot his name, and I'm sorry I did. I didn't have it written down. He's suffering brain cancer. And I think he's from the Fort Worth area. And he had his tumor in his brain, and he's in great spirits, but he's immobile right now, and his family needs some help. So the charity jumped right up and said, hey, listen, I'm going to, help your family. You've given back so much to your community. Here's some funds to get you through. And I think that's just a wonderful thing. All our organizations throughout that we have dealt with, all our grassroots, our veterans, our first responders, like the one we have on tonight, the Green Star Families of America, the one I got to deal with 2 weeks ago, which was Heroes in the Sky, another amazing organization giving back to the families of our fallen. You know, the ones who fall in the line of duty are always taken care of. Their names go on a wall. They're held in high honor. You know, they're given, you know, and rightfully so, and they should. But when a hero dies from post-traumatic stress injuries, when they take their life, you know, the pain in them has ceased, but that pain carries over to all the family and friends and everything else. And nobody's there to help pick up the pieces. You know, a lot of organizations will not touch a suicide. They you know, only 5% are maybe buried with honors. They're not taken care of. And that's where, you know, the Green Star Families of America and Heroes in the Sky, they step up and they take care of the families. They guide them, they mentor them, they have support groups, and they really try to, and I don't want to say heal, because you never really heal from an experience like this. But
it gives them comfort.
It gives
knowing
them
that they've got a community behind them, I think.
Yes, and shows them support. The Green Star families, unlike the Gold Star families, Gold Star families, God bless them, you know, those are families of members who were killed in the line of duty. Green Star
in the
military. In the military. The Green Star families, they take care of those who died under the wire, but by their own hand. And God bless every member of the Green Star families for doing what they do each and every day.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue to introduce and bring on Matt Cahill. He is the founder and CEO of Green Star Families of America. Matt, welcome to A Badge of Honor TV.
Thank you, Sam and John. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Matt.
I appreciate it.
You bet.
Guys are doing great things. I've been following for a little bit. And let me start out by saying I'm a 26-year Army veteran. I started off on active duty, went into the Pennsylvania National Guard, did M-Day, normal, regular, Guard stuff while working as an EMT, working in what's now closed Crozier's ER. It was a level 2 trauma facility. And then I had the opportunity to deploy with the Pennsylvania National Guard over to Iraq. I did so in 06, 07. And then when I came back, I took an AGR job. That's a full-time National Guard job as a medic, where I could take care of the veterans, finding help and care within the VA or the military. And then, if they need to be processing them out after being boarded and stuff. So I've seen many revolutions and evolutions of the whole chain of how, when soldiers get injured, what the process is that they go through, and then the boarding process. By the time I got out in 2019, I retired. It was literally done before the soldier was taken or ended their time in service. So it had come a long way, but I always questioned and struggled with how mental health was taken care of in the military. As many veterans know, especially people around my age and in my generation, when you brought it up at a certain point in time, it was considered to be a weakness, and nobody really, wanted too much to say or do about it. And they didn't want you to really tell the truth, because if you did, you were probably, taken out of service pretty quickly. So, but since then, in 2020, when my cousin died by suicide, his name was Wes Donnelly. I wanted to address his mother, and I felt that there should be some formal term, such as Gold Star Mom or Blue Star Mom. And when I researched for about 2 weeks on the internet and just couldn't find any organization that was out there or any proper term, I talked with a bunch of my veteran friends and families, and we all decided this needed to change. So we started Green Star Families of America in 2020 and have been lobbying Congress. We're up to our 4th bill this year, or this Congress cycle, I should say, which is HR 6022. And we're not asking for anything from the government financial wise. We're just asking for the federal recognition of the service banner so these families can be recognized properly.
That's amazing. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, are you getting any pushback from that? Because you say it's your fourth term. Are you getting pushback from that?
Not pushback. This year in this Congress, we've actually gotten the most co-sponsors that we've ever had. We're up to 4 now, which is phenomenal. Representative Bresnahan from Pennsylvania, and co-sponsored this bill with Madeline Dean. So it was a Republican Democrat, like bipartisan bill that went forward. And that's great because this is a nonpartisan issue.
Correct.
Sure,
Correct.
100%. It's 100% nonpartisan issue. When we're talking about our heroes, John and I definitely, our hearts are with your mission, what you do. That is amazing. And their families. We got to take our first break. And you'll hear now from an organization that is dedicated to our heroes and patriots. So we will be right back after these messages. Stay tuned, everybody.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Hey, John, do you have you ever gotten a free month of service on your mobile?
Never got a free month of service.
Wow. What about you, Matt?
Nope.
Okay. Well, now is your all's chance to reach out to Patriot Mobile and get that free month of service when you use promo code BADGE. How do you do it? patriotmobile.com/badge. Or you can call their customer service, and they have incredibly awesome customer service, US based, if you know what I mean. So call 972-PATRIOT. You tell them promo code BADGE, tell them a badge of honor sent you. You get a free month of service, and a portion of every order that is made comes back to fund organizations like us and so many more out there giving back to our heroes. And so again, 972-PATRIOT/badge.
Yeah, well, welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV. We are powered by the OBBM Network. We have Matt Cahill. Am I going to pronounce your name wrong? Cahill?
Cahill.
Cahill. Sorry, Matt. He's a U.S. Army veteran, and he's the founder of the Green Star Families of America. And I had the privilege of meeting Matt at the Celebrity Softball Classic here in Frisco, Texas, along with a host of other great people throughout that organization. And I got to meet Natalie Brett, one of your representatives here in Texas. She is a Green Star member. Her husband took his life about 3 years ago. And, I talk to Natalie probably on a weekly basis, and she, as a wife, a spouse of a military veteran who took his life, she still battles. And this is, every single day she struggles to get along. And she's mentioned many times that if it wasn't for the Green Star Families, she doesn't know where she'd be today. You guys have supported her and helped her out so much. She feels like she has that huge support network that at any given time she could call one of you guys up and you'd be there.
Yeah, so weird how we came across each other. I like to say, I call it the TikTok reboot. In 2025, most of the social media platforms were no longer censoring us because we deal with suicide. And it's hard to talk about suicide when you can't use the S word. And like our posts were getting, shut down and everything. But when TikTok rebooted, the whole military community seemed to be able to find us, and we found them. And Natalie is still very brave, and she came out and she's like, "This is who I am, and this is how I feel." And we were like, "We feel the same way." And I think it's just that matter where it's like you can come and talk, and most of us know exactly what you're talking about because we've been there as well. And honestly, she's now our director of outreach, and she is just one motivated, widow who wants to see this become a reality, as do we. So it's just a natural fit, and it's healing for us as well, me included. So
yeah, talk a little bit about the programs.
Really, we don't have any programs. We are focused on the hardest part, I think, which is why a lot of the organizations haven't tried to do the legislative key piece to it. You have 22 a day, you have all these organizations and other slogans, if you will, that are out there. But no one has, as far as we've known or have done research or have heard back from legislators, tried to actually make this a recognized banner. And I call it the service banner of our generation. The Gold Star and the Blue Star banners were approved back in World War I and have been recognized since, but there's been no other service banners, thankfully, since that time. But the whole point for this one is we believe that this is a subject that needs to be broached by the government that's never been broached before, which is mental health. Some of the history with just the diagnosis of PTSD, it wasn't until the 1980s that the VA actually recognized their first diagnosis for a mental health, behavioral health type of thing. Shell shock was a condition, but it wasn't like a formal term, if you will, where PTSD was that first original formal term, but there still hasn't been much done on it. I know when I first started in the VA, probably right after my deployment in like 2007, they were still following traditional medicine rules of, here's pharmacology, here's, your talk therapy. But usually I've always been a field soldier, a first line unit type of soldier. So I was never really in an office unless I was in trouble, so going in and sitting down and trying to talk therapy, it was a very uncomfortable atmosphere for me to try and relax and open up. But I found the equine assisted therapy where I was out, working with the horses and was able to talk better and communicate with my therapist much better than I was ever able to do that in an office. So
that's
now
great.
The VA started paying attention to that stuff more in the adaptive sports grants and doing the fishing and wildlife and hunting types of things and the kayaking, like you were saying, with Heroes on the Water. A lot more of these types of forms of therapy are just much more conducive to the way we are, to where we can get the most out of that type of therapy than just sitting in an office being pumped full of drugs.
100%. And Natalie is watching. Hey, Natalie. She says, hey, John. So our live comment stream is open. So if you'd like to make a comment and you're watching on one of our live platforms that allows you to do that, go ahead and type it in, especially if you have a question for Matt as we go along. So Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have your MSW?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So what spurred you to get your master's in social work?
So I was 2016 timeframe. So 3 years before I retired out of the military. I had helped a friend repair running sheds for her horses. And there was a time where I was by myself and it was like kind of dusk and the horses just came all around me. And I felt the calm that I'd been in therapy for 10 years trying to find. The medications had never provided. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I never grew up around horses. I live in South Jersey. So there are some horse farms, but it's more like, oh, you just pass and you look at the beautiful creatures, you know what I mean? But I didn't grow up with horses. So I started checking into it for something to do when I retired. And I really got into the equine world for therapy. And I found a great mentor, Jeannie Mahoney, who ran a practice over here and was actually retiring out of the VA at the same time that I was retiring from the military.
Wow.
So we just came together and started programs where we actually did do therapy sessions. And Vets, another nonprofit that I run, we provide equine assisted therapy to veterans and their families and first responders, absolutely free of charge. Mainly not only to get them introduced into this type of world, but also when other forms of therapy have failed, those are the veterans and first responders and that we want to see. This came really important during COVID, where nurses and medical professionals were just being overworked so hard. we kept getting calls literally every week by 30, 40 nurses and 911 operators and ER doctors. It's like, come to us, come on, let's go. Like, we're open. We'll do all the safety precautions that the state required us to do, wear a mask, distancing, that kind of stuff. But horses are amazing. I'm all about equine therapy, but
Matt,
Yeah.
talking about equine, that kind of broke my shell as well. So I feel where you're coming on that. And you brought up something that traditional couch therapy sometimes doesn't always work. We close up, right? We're not used to talking. But sometimes it takes that first therapy, like equine, or even like with Heroes in the Water paddling, something different to break that shell a little bit, to crack that outer layer, to get you into some talk therapy maybe, or get you into something different. So sometimes we have to keep trying different modalities to see what's going to work before we find the one that's going to work for us, because everybody's an individual.
Absolutely. What I found my biggest problem with types of therapy is, there's a whole vocabulary that I don't feel I was ever really subjected to. That, hey, tell me how you feel in this situation. How are you feeling right now? Like, where are you at within your body? I don't know. I'm here. I'm cold. I'm kind of interested, but not like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Well, no,
right.
do you feel sad? Do you feel like there are terms that I've never learned to equate to an actual feeling, because when you're given a mission, you just shut up and do the mission.
Right.
I don't have the right to say no. You look at it tactically and you kind of review it. And it's like, well, if we had this kind of support, like air support or a backup unit, like a QRF or something cool, you can put that into your mix. But it's not like, so pause for a second and tell me how you feel. Well, I can't, because I don't know that. You know what I mean? Right. And that's why I like equine therapy so much, is that you don't have to use words with the horse. The horse just knows.
They feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to take our next break here. We'll come back, continue our next segment with continuation of equine therapy, and then we'll expand, because I think it's important for folks to know, like, the process for you to get get a green star banner, right? Banner in
Yep.
Congress. It's not like, hey, could you sign this? So we'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned, everybody.
Look, when you need to respond to an aggressive situation to protect yourself, your family, or your property, understanding your firearm and legal position are critical. Officers know your skills are only as good as your commitment to training. So know what you're doing. So when you're in a vulnerable situation, we can count on your response. Whether you're a beginner or a licensed gun carrier, Carry in Texas offers basic firearms training, Texas permitless carry courses, license to carry, and basic 2A courses so you can understand the responsibilities, situational awareness, and learn the technical skill required when you carry your firearm. Go to carryintexas.com to find the right course for you. Join me, former United States Secret Service agent Samantha Horwitz, on the range for beginner basics, LTC prep, and range practice. Go to carryintexas.com today. That's carryintexas.com.
Hey, welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV with John and Sam, with our guest, Matt Cahill, with the Green Star Families of America. Cahill. I'm so bad with last name.
He wants to make
I just need all
Matt.
Smiths.
It's all good.
Hobbs and Jones. That's it.
You can call me anything you want, just not like that.
Looking at the Carry in Texas, right? When we talk about our therapy and we talk about equine and we talk about getting out onto the raft and rowing and fishing and hunting and stuff like that, or the kayak, right? Believe it or not, grabbing your firearm, going to the shooting range and blowing off of some rounds is also therapeutic for you. Some people may get a really good release out of there. They release some anger, they release some emotion, and they shoot at a target. So think about that too. That's another therapeutic way to firearm therapy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Before we left, we were talking about the Green Star Families, getting it passed through the Senate and Congress so that it is an official banner. But I want to just backtrack for a second. When we talked about the 22 veterans a day, and as well as I do, Matt, that 22 number is much higher. It's very undervalued right now because, they're not counting the drug overdoses, the car accidents, the things that happen, the alcohol overdoses. They're not counting all those, and the homeless population of our veterans who go, just as vagrants, which is horrible. So, I think the number is close to 40. I could be wrong, but I think it's about close to 40 a day. So when you times that by how many family members are impacted by the loss of one of their loved ones, of veterans, the numbers are infinite. And just hearing that one story from Natalie shared her story with me, and I broke down crying. I was so moved, but I was so pissed off how she was treated. And thank God for you guys for being there, for being that pillow that she needed and stepping in.
That's what we're fighting for all the families. We had started hearing probably around 2021 that certain families who had certain connections were able to be listed under Gold Star families, which come with benefits. And we really became alarmed because some of those benefits may be a very good reason for a veteran to choose suicide. And what I mean by that is, if a veteran is struggling, can't find a job, maybe has an addiction, is not really doing too well after or post-service, if you will, and their spouse or their dependent comes down, let's say with cancer or something like that, and they don't have health insurance, if certain Gold Star benefits are applied to that family, which healthcare benefits is one, there's also college education benefits, and a payout depending. They may say, hey, in order to save my wife, I'm going to choose suicide, which many of us chose to go defend the United States and be willing to give up our lives. That would just make sense that we would, choose to help our families in whatever way we can. That we really hope that once Green Star becomes official and we start working on putting benefits under the service banner, that they're appropriate benefits so that no veteran chooses suicide as a means to help their family get further.
Wow. And is that something you said you had? The bill was you had a sponsor and a co-sponsor. Is that the kind of stuff that goes into the bill?
Not originally. Like I said, we're a lot of things that slow down bills is when there's a price tag associated with it, such as one of the bills that we sent up. We wanted to cover all the veterans starting from 2001 till I think it was like 2022 was the bill that asked for some funding. But that's, as John was just stating, kind of an incalculable number, because is it 22 a day? Is it 45 a day? We really didn't know. So there's a whole lot of things that need to be tightened up once we do get the designation, federally recognized. Then we have to start looking at, okay, who's a main office? Because as of right now, I've come across a few different government offices that kind of keep some veterans' names that died by suicide, but there's no formal group that holds all of them. Like if they wanted to build a wall for this, they wouldn't have the names because there's nobody that tracks it. So there's a lot of things that need to start happening with the recognition of this, where, okay, what are the guardrails for what is considered suicide?
Well, let me ask you, do not the financial or the monetary benefits or the college benefits, how about starting off with support for the families, with the general, the family, getting them the support they need with mental stress, getting them into, some therapy programs, offering some of those to start out with and building on top of that, because that's where, when I was talking to James with Heroes in the Sky, he threw out some numbers that, a lot of the spouses and a lot of the family members, the kids of these veterans who have taken their lives, are also more susceptible to taking their lives as well from the trauma that they've endured through that loss.
Yep, 6 times more likely. So there's that statistic, but there's other things too. I mean, how do we go about doing that? Do we just say, hey, these families can seek behavioral health through the VA? Well, the VA is already, very inundated with veterans that they can't even, I mean, it was taking 3 months for me to just get one appointment through VA behavioral health.
That's horrible.
But organizations such as giveanhour.org, like there's always ways. And then even with TAPS has programs that assist these types of families. But again, they help Gold Star families because they're titled. Whereas Green Star, those families, if they know about it, might be a Gold Star, but not all of them know about it yet. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of work to do. And we believe that it just starts first with getting this federal recognition so that we can then start really making the push and the drive. And honestly, for me, it's frustrating because, I mean, we were at war for over 20 years. Like, we couldn't have done this earlier. We couldn't have started this any earlier to help more families, more veterans, that kind of thing, where maybe there needs to be a month-long, reverse kind of basic for veterans, to where we can get back into the norm of, hey, you get up at 8:00, you do a workout that's not forced PT out on the field. You know what I mean? Something that gets us out of that mindset of being in a combat zone.
What could
the
our
transition
listeners...
and basic life skills. And Matt, you bring up a good point about transitioning, because our partners at East Texas Legends Coffee, Ben and Amanda Holmes, they have an amazing story. And Ben had trouble transitioning, and he got a lot of help. I'm going to put our banner up here, but he kind of fell into making coffee and roasting coffee, actually. Yeah. So, East Texas Legends Coffee here, folks, founded by Ben and Amanda Holmes, reflects their journey from Ben's Marine Corps service and law enforcement career, overcoming post-traumatic stress, to finding purpose in ranching. Relocating to an East Texas ranch, they identified a need for a local coffee brand. Now they're opening their first coffee shop in Lindale, Texas, rooted in faith, family, and community. Their mission: inspire purposeful conversations over coffee. Drink coffee, be legendary. So go to etxlegendscoffee.com, use promo code BADGE for 15% off coffee and merchandise. And or you can just put your phone up and scan this beautiful QR code there and place your order. It is really, really good coffee, as John and I can attest to, and some of their merch we have on.
Mm-hmm.
Delish every week. But it is important to have a plan if you don't have one, and something that they need to do, not just an exit interview, but they need to have, I agree, Matt, a month to get you out of, I'll call that the combat brain of how you're functioning every single day, into, hey, this is what life's going to look like when you get back.
Well, that's the big problem with all of our services, through our law enforcement, our first responder community, and our veterans. Those exit interviews are, there's a box, put your stuff in it, see you later. After you've devoted 20, 30 years to service, it's, they kind of just kick you to the curb. It's a horrible way to do things. They don't think about the mental stress. They don't think about the loss of purpose, and they don't think about it. That's why we want to bring up that you should have an exit plan. You should have developed your own game plan throughout your service career to make sure that you do not fall into this rabbit hole, and you get the proper treatment you need. Matt, what could our listeners, I know you got you got some co-sponsors for this bill, but what could our listeners, what could we do throughout the country? Petitions, talk to our own Congress people. What can we do to help you get this passed?
You hit the nail right on the head. Talk to your own Congress and Senate, representatives. Mainly, we're focusing on the Judiciary Committee. And if you go on the internet, you can Google who the Judiciary Committee is. I happen to pull up the Texas representatives that are on the Judiciary Committee. It's Brandon Gill, Lance Gooden, Wesley Hunt, Troy Nels, Nehls, Chip Roy, and Jasmine Crockett. Reach out to them, because they can help push this bill.
That's unfortunate. But,
It's bipartisan. I really don't comment on other political stuff.
No. I know. I'm kidding.
No,
You
yeah,
know,
it's just
this
lots of
trumps
news.
everything, number one, and number two, I really believe that the military leads, certain things in the medical world, like for
Fro.
tourniquets, that kind of stuff for Gold Star. That Green Star, I'm hoping, can break down the stigmas with mental health and provide better therapy for not only military but civilians, law enforcement, everybody, first responders. But as long as we just keep sitting around and spinning our wheels, we're getting nowhere. So let's name something formally and move forward.
If we start doing, say we started taking an initiative here in Texas and we approach some of these judicial Congress people or persons or council, now, does that get pushed to the federal level, or does it go state by state?
So we're shooting as an organization for the federal level, but we do have, like, Pennsylvania has taken upon themselves to move it through their state. Kentucky already has a Green Star bill that was introduced in 2025, but it hasn't moved. Nobody else has co-signed on to it. So if you live in Kentucky, contact state representatives there and get a push. So it's happening on all levels, whether it be states specifically or national. We, like I said, are focusing on national because we're a national organization. So let's just stick with the national. But yeah, it's just something we're trying to spread to everybody and anybody. I even have Canadian soldiers and European Union and Australian families contacted me, like, how do we get this done over here? This isn't just our problem. It's literally the world's problem. So
correct. So petitions help? Does just talk help, or do we need petitions signed, or like how? I don't know how to go about it, or just like knock on the door and go, hey, I got to talk to you about this bill. How does somebody without our experience, I know you've done it, how would we start to generate the movement or get that word flowing out? What's a good way to do that?
We're looking at finding the right people to start a, I just had the word in my head. Damn PTSD. The
campaign?
A group in the state with you.
A campaign or a
like a satellite Green Star, like the Green Star chapters.
Chapters. Okay.
But honestly, your representatives are so easy to approach, and nobody has ever been anything other than just give me more information. This sounds awesome. Let's do this. So don't be afraid to approach your representatives, because I mean, if you were to talk to me in 2019, I would tell you that I would never really become into politics or talk to politicians. But when you talk about this kind of thing, it is so easy to talk to them and converse with them about.
Right.
That it's mostly just the knowledge that you have and the information to give them, and then they do their research, and then they're on board with it. So.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Before my dog was walking away, I thought
I'm going to work close. I'm going to work closely with Natalie on the Texas end, because I know she's pretty well versed in a lot of this. So, and we're going to work on Texas on this end and get some of it, because we have a big state here, and a lot of patriots here that really want to give back to our veterans. All our politicians are on board with that. So, and I'm going to try to get some politicians out to our fundraiser that we are doing for you at Texas Harley-Davidson on March 6th.
Absolutely. Let's take our last quick break, and we'll talk about that fundraiser, how we can find out more. Stay tuned, everybody. We will be right back.
Interested in starting a podcast or TV show? Worried about what you'll say and how to keep it engaging? Think you'd like to be a guest on podcast, radio, or TV shows? Hi, I'm Susan Hamilton, owner and founder of OBBM Network, and I would like to invite you to an OBBM media training to get the tools you need for a relaxed and polished performance we'll be proud to share. Our specialized training techniques include role play, voice training, and everything you need to deliver a confident, clear, and engaging interaction. Go to offbeatbusiness.com. Go to the calendar and register for a training that's convenient for you. Dates available now, 214-714-0495.
Hey, welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV with John and Sam, with our special guest, Matt Cahill, with Green Star. I know I'm screwing it up. It's the post-traumatic stress in my head. I can't even remember my name sometimes. The post-traumatic, the Green Star Families of America. We're talking about a fundraiser. There's no such thing as a nonprofit that doesn't need money. All nonprofits do need money. They don't take salaries, but they need money to help further their cause. They need money to put out pamphlets and flyers, and they pull that money out of their own pockets. So the Green Star Families, we need to raise some money for them. So on March 6th at Texas Harley-Davidson, we are going to run a comedy show with the legendary Bag Lady Sue. Now, this woman has been legendary in the biker community and all across the country for about 30 years, and she puts on an amazing, amazing show. Tickets are $25 a piece. You can go to bagladysue.com. You can purchase your tickets. This is going to be it's going to be limited seating. So you should go get your tickets now because we can only fit by fire code probably about 350 people in the whole dealership. So go get. We want to sell this show out. We want to sell it out, and it's really starting to generate a lot of talk because Bag Lady Sue is so legendary in the comic world that she's coming to Texas for this, and it's going to be an amazing show. So have you Matt, have you got to look at any of her videos?
Oh yeah, I definitely have. And she's not too far away from me. She's in northwest Pennsylvania, and that's about a 3-hour drive. From where I'm
that's
located.
great.
But one of the things that I've done is, I know I don't have much business savvy. I didn't spend my life in business. I was, an active duty medic the whole time. So I've reached out to a veterans fellowship program through the Union League of Philadelphia, a very philanthropic organization right on Broad Street, like not even a block away from City Hall. And they've been around since the time of Abraham Lincoln, and they've led to organizations such as like the USO. So I graduated from that program in June, but we're already off and running. I've got 2 awesome mentors who are very good with business and have scaled businesses up. So I'm hoping that they really have some good insight in helping Green Star get to the national, nonprofit that it needs to be. So with the fundraisers going on, with this guidance and everything like that, I really believe 2026 is our year to get this bill passed and get these families recognized. So
yes,
that's amazing.
Yes,
so greenstarfamilies.org is your website, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you can go there and hit that donate button, and let's get this passed because it is long overdue, and
families deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. Families do deserve it. Matt, where else do you play on social media?
We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We actually have a Green Star anthem that we're looking for someone to help get us get that song done a little bit better with a good video. Pretty much look anywhere and we're there. That's just the problem, though. So many people don't know what to look for, but we're around and we're gaining ground every day. So
reach out to David Bray USA, Dave Bray USA, for your anthem.
Hey, Dave Bray USA, for your anthem.
Yep, Dave is a U.S. Navy veteran, combat veteran, who is a musician who has been all over the world. But he is also a patriot, and he loves our veterans, and that's all his songs are about. And it's about veterans. So reach out to Dave Bray USA. Tell him who you're with. I'm sure he would be. When you say politicians are approachable, Dave is so approachable that he'll respond back to you.
Awesome.
So we're doing plugs live on the show. So hey, people are going to check out that as well. So again, greenstarfamilies.org. And John, one more time with the fundraiser.
Fundraiser is going to be on March 6th at Texas Harley-Davidson. That's going to be 1 Harley-Davidson Way here in Bedford, Texas. Tickets are $25 a piece. All the money raised goes directly to the Green Star Families of America. You can get your tickets at bagladysue.com. That's bagladysue.com. Purchase your tickets. There will be the show starts at 8:00. Doors will open up at 6. And this is not a family-friendly event, so to speak. No kids, so you do have to be over 18. So it's going to be, and Texas Harley-Davidson really is supporting us big time on this. They, Michael Long, who is the ambassador of Fun at Texas Harley-Davidson, he is also a United States veteran, Army veteran, who's done a couple of tours. So that's why he took hold of this so much for you guys as well. And we want this to be a success for you.
Okay. So that's bagladysue.com. Tickets are $25. And that's Saturday, March 6th, correct?
Friday, March 6th.
Friday, March 6th. My bad.
Friday, March 6th.
Friday, March 6th, Texas Harley-Davidson. Matt, just take the next couple of minutes and just talk to the families out there and folks that may be listening. How can you help?
Honestly, reach out and contact us. Find your tribe. You're not alone in dealing with anything that you're dealing with. We have families that have dealt with everything. And if it's just a matter of camaraderie or somebody that aligns with understanding what you're going through, we're there. We're here. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Come join us. Keep fighting even harder. And, we're going to make this happen. So.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know you will. You'll definitely make this happen. This is a great bill.
We got some connections. We got some connections here in Texas. Even if they're not on the judiciary, they can push
it over to them.
Yeah, push it over to them. So,
yep.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight, being part of A Badge of Honor TV. It is absolutely amazing, and I know thankless work that you do, but we thank you very much for everything that you are doing for the families of those service members that died by suicide. Let's not forget them. Keep saying their names.
Definitely.
Matt, will you be out here on March 6th?
I'm definitely going to try, but like you were saying with fundraising, I mean, I try not to spend money where I don't need to. You know what I mean? So we're just starting the new year, and something happened with all the grants and stuff from 2025. I, applied for 18 of them and got 0. And that was the first year that's the only time I've never gotten a grant. So I have to kind of back up, regroup, and figure out who I can go to and where, and start getting the money rolling again. So,
Well, we'll do our best to help you out.
Well,
yeah. God bless you again for everything that you're doing. And we'll be in touch for sure.
Thank you so much for hosting. I appreciate you guys inviting me on, and you guys are doing a great job too as well. So
thanks,
you.
Matt. Appreciate you.
Appreciate
we'll
it.
be in touch.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Wow. It is just an amazing mission that they have. And so again, it doesn't matter what state you're in. If you can get a list, you can go online, pretty sure find the judiciary members, and then not at the I guess at the state level, it helps a little bit, but this is federal. So you're going to want to find your federal reps in the judiciary from wherever you are located in the United States. It's called a congressional district. So just find out who it is and hit them up with a little letter. Every little bit helps. John, speaking of every little bit, we are there. There's no stopping because and like I always say, it's a double-edged sword, because if we're out there and we're booked, it's because people need the understanding, need the assistance, need to understand they're not alone, and that they can reach out. On the flip side, we're just so happy and honored to be able to do what we do at A Badge of Honor here. And we got to thank Carry the Load, our nonprofit partner. And we are their partners in the Continuum of Care program. They help us out with what we do. If you want to find out where we are, if you want us to come to you, we can do that. abadgeofhonor.org. Just hit the events. Private workshops for your agencies are available. We just got to book them and get all the details, but you can reach out to us at abadgeofhonor.org. And like, Matt said, John reiterated, every nonprofit needs assistance. We got a little blue donate button there. So at the bottom of the page. So if you're so inclined, no, it goes right back into our programming. So again, that's a badgeofhonor.org for those of you listening on your favorite podcast app. And
don't forget our April 18th, the Badge of Honor will be hosting our own fundraiser to help our first responders throughout the state of Texas. We will be hosting a speakeasy casino night, forget about it type of night.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. It's gonna be a speakeasy theme. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Billy Ball is really helping us out and getting this all together for us. So we're gonna be hosting this, and it's gonna be a fun night, a charity gambling, charity casino night. Some unexpected things may happen. It's not gonna be like a murder mystery, but there may be some things happening in a speakeasy. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll get you more information real soon as we solidify everything, but that will be April 18th, and it's going to be over in Frisco. So if you're in the Frisco area, it'll be a nice night out with you and a spouse to come out and just enjoy a night at Badge of Honor's Speakeasy Casino night.
Absolutely. Hey, to all of our first responders out there, you've got a massive group of prayer warriors praying for your safety every single day. So just know that. And then for our veterans out there, thank you for doing what you did, for fighting the good fight that allows John and I to do a show like this every single week. For all of our active duty personnel spread out across the globe, thank you for keeping our shores safe here at home. John, take us home.
Man, with all the current climate going on, I didn't do any bitching or whining or crying or yelling or calling people out. And I'm not going to. All I want to let everybody know is we support every facet of law enforcement across our country. If you took that oath and you wear a badge, wherever you are, we support you. Keep up the good fight. Don't let rhetoric knock you down from what you believe in your heart you need to do. So you have a Badge of Honor's 100% support throughout the country.
In a way, Matt just texted me here, messaged me, congress.gov will identify everybody's reps and how to contact them. So congress.gov. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you.
And until next week, everybody.
Yep. Peace.
See you then. Take care.
A Badge of Honor podcast is produced for the OBBM Network podcast and protected under copyright law. For content permissions, please submit your request to abadgeofhonor.com on the content page. For OBBM Network programming information, please call 214-714-0495 today.